Assalamualaikum and greetings. My name is Shahmina binti Ruslan and I will explain about what happened in the CPU after running the program. After submitting the code, the assembly language code will be translated into the machine code and will be loaded into the RAM. The program counter is reset to 0. And then after pressing the run button, the input instruction is being fetched and the program counter will be 1 after the instruction is completed. Then we can put the value in the input box. I'm gonna go with 2. And after we press enter, we can see the value goes into the accumulator. The address register stores the memory address from which the data will be fetched. According to the coding, the memory address for the input will be 60. We can see the input in the memory location 60. The instruction have been executed and the program counter is at 4, which represent the next instruction to fetch. For the next input, we use 3. The process is basically the same as the first input, so I'm gonna fast forward the process. And then we put the next input. After inserting all the input value, we can see the result in the output box. There are 4 parts of the result. The first one represent the input A times B result, and the second one represent the C divided by D input. The third one represent the E plus F input, which is 0. And for the fourth output, this is the final answer of all the operation, which is 8. That's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and hi. My name is Tuan Muhammad Aslam bin Asri and my matric number is CE190007, and I want to explain about the process or step occurred during the process. And the first is assembly language code that we have run as a user. We put the code and fetch, and we will put the input from this first is 2. This is a first input, and for the process that what we put, the CPU will process and fetch and the data will be progressed. After that, after the that fetch will download, execute, and write, and it will complete. And if the process is complete, it will go to the next the next is 3, input 3. For the input 3, it will repeat like first process, that is 2. The CPU will process and will be fetch and download and execute, and for after the process is complete, the data will be the next process. The next process is 12. The third process is 12. The third process input 12 is CPU will process like step 2 and step 1. They are the same situation like before this. And the fourth process D is the input is the input, the value is 6. Okay, this is the input value for process. After that, it will run and go to the CPU process, and it will be fetch the data. And after that, the fetch will be download and execute in the write. When the data is complete, it will go to the next process. Another process, the fifth process, is the data 0. And the data 0 is operand. There is no set of instruction assigned due to repeat error that we get when doing this operand. However, since the value of E and F is 0, it should affect the output of the previous operand. And the sixth operand is also 0. As for the sixth operand, we experience same difficulty where we could get the output since we keep getting error repeatedly and still looking for solution. That is about part B explanation, and I will go to the part C explanation. For the part C, what we will be explained is about the how do the data or address is obtained. The part C is this is INP input that show we have a 6 input. The first input is STA A. STA A is what show the STA 60 is it show about where is locate in a box we store, and for the input STAB is we put in STA61 box, and input C we put to box 64, and input D we put in box 65, input E we put in box 67, and the last input is F we put in box 66. And for the input F is 88, and for the N1 is STA62. STA62 is what we put the common answer, and number the answer for the STA62, and for the N2 common for the STA66 is we put the 66 answer for the output at box 66 is we put the output answer, and for the STA99 we put the output answer for equation EF, and our LDA62 is the output AB, and for the STA66 we put the answer CD, and for the operand LDA and LDA62 and at 66 it will be display in output for the output this we show in the box purple box output. That's all. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum and greetings to Dr. Nick Shahidah Afifi. Okay, so my name is Ahmad Koyumi Ahmad Johan, and my student ID is CA190012. Okay, as for today, I'm going to start the presentation of our group by explaining the structure of the whole assembly language code that we use to express the derived equation. Okay, so on my screen right now, at the right side, I have already wrote the equation. Okay, so this is our equation. Y equals to open square bracket, open bracket, A multiplied by B plus C divided by D minus E plus F close square bracket and to the power of 2. Okay, so based on our equation, we can there are 6 operations involved in this equation, and we will do it part by part. Okay, so the first operation is A multiplied by B, the second operation is C divided by D, third operation is E plus F, and then for the fourth operation, okay, so for the fourth operation, it will involve the addition of the output of A multiplied by B plus A multiplied by B and also C divided by D. Okay, and then as for the fifth operation, it will involve the output of A multiplied by B plus with the output of C divided by D minus with the output of E plus F, and the last operation will be all of the operation just now. The answer that we get will be squared to the power of 2. Okay, so based on what you see, our equation consists of 6 operand, which 2 of them is addition, subtraction, multiplication, division and power of 2. So without any delay, let me proceed with the explanation. Okay, so on the left side you can see, and this is the assembly language code of our program. Okay, so the first line is okay, whenever you want to declare input, you will use the IMP keyword. Okay, so as for me, the first input of my instruction of set is I will declare where I want to keep the A. Okay, so IMP and then store A. Okay, so for store A, since here I already store my A, and then I want to store my the input of A into 60. Okay, so later on when the user want to, has been prompted by the program, okay, it will ask for an input. So for A, when the user enter the input, it will display the input at here at box 60. Okay, so the second one is it's the same as the previous one. Okay, so declare an input, and what is the input? Okay, so the second input will be B, and then where do I want to display the input? Okay, I will display the input at box 61. So the next input is C, and then we can see here I have declared C, and then where I will keep it in C, and then I will display the input in box 64, and same goes for D, where I have declared the D, and then where I want to keep it, and then I will store the input in box 65, and the same applied to E and F. Okay, where as for E I will store it in box 67, and as for F I will keep it in box 68. Okay, so now we have come to the first loop. Okay, so the first loop indicate the process of the process of multiplication. Okay, here you can see. Okay, so the first instruction is LDAB. Okay, LDAB is where I load the B. Okay, so and then okay, so this is the starting of the for the program of for the process of multiplication. Okay, here in loop 1, okay, first I will LDAB means that it will load B inside, it will load the value of B to the accumulator, and then BRZ N1. Okay, this loop will be end if the branch is 0. Okay, and then we sub 1, and then we'll store in B, and then load the answer, and then we will add the second value, which is A, and then store the answer, and then the loop will be ended when the value, when it has keep subtracting up until you get 0. Okay, so the end it will end the loop after this. Okay, so for n1 is so here we load the answer, and then the output will be stored in box 62. Okay, so you can see here the output of the value that we input. Okay, so our value is for the one in box 60 is 2, and box 61 is 3. So the output will be stored in 62, which is the answer is 6. Okay, explain about the second process, which is the process of division. Okay, so here, okay, the process of division start at loop 2 up until here, the one that I have highlight in blue color. Okay, so okay, this is the starting and ending point for the process of division. Okay, so it is just the same as the multiplication process, except for multiplication it will sub the value until it will get the it will end the loop. Okay, as for the division, it will use the instruction of add. So as for this one, you can see Okay, here for the division process, the output will be stored in box 66. Okay, so okay, wait. Okay, so you can see here, I've entered the value. Okay, so the value that I've entered in box 64 is the value is 12, and then for the second input is 6 in box 65. Okay, so as I mentioned just now, the output will be displayed in box 66. Okay, so in box 66. Okay, so this is the outcome of the process of division. You can see here the output is 2 for 12 divided by 6. Okay, and then after finish with the process of division, now I will go to the next operation, which is process of addition of E plus F. Okay, so as the value of E and F that we use for the program is 0. So so here you can see just load here. The instruction here load E, and then it will add F where the E is 0 and F is 0. So you will get the answer as 0 in box 69. Okay, so now now the fourth operation, where the output of A plus B plus A, where the output of A multiplied by B plus C divided by D. Okay, so we're gonna do the fourth operation here, which is the same as the previous operation, addition. Okay, so here I recall back the output of A multiplied by B that I've stored in the value in box 62 just now. You can see here. Okay, so the outcome for A multiplied by B will be stored in box 62. So in order to proceed with the addition, just load it back. You can see here LDA 62, and then as for the output of C divided by D, okay, refer to the second loop here. Okay, so the output of C divided by D is stored in box 66. So here just add 66. Okay, so you will get the output. Okay, so the output is 8 as shown here. Okay, as for the subtraction process, which is the fifth operation, we didn't do the operation for the subtraction process, since our value of E and F is 0. So 8 minus 0, you still get the same answer as the previous one, which is 8. And then as for the square, we couldn't do the we could not accomplish the coding for the power of 2. So that's the challenges that we face throughout completing this project. Okay, so the last one is every input that you have declared at the above, you must input as data at the below of the program. Okay, and then this one for the one just now, data 1. Okay, so that's all for me. Thank you.